So, as some of you guys may know, this week is match week for medical students across the country. Well, this video is for pre-medical students or med students in their first, second, third year. But past that, it's probably not worth watching for you. So just heads up. So match week pretty much is a week where all medical students across the country that are applying for United States residency programs, so MD students, DO students, international medical graduates that want to train in the United States, they go through match week. So long story short, this might be a bit of a long video to explain everything, but to make 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know how long this video is going to be, in 30 seconds, pretty much match week is this upcoming Monday, March, I think it's 15th, 2021. Every medical student fourth year medical student will know if they matched, were accepted into a residency training program. And then a week goes by, some things happen, I'll explain. And then Friday is match day. So that's March 19th, I believe, 2021, where medical schools across the country typically hold a nice gala with medical students there, professors there, family members there, and they celebrate, all this years of hard work, and they get to know which specialty and which program they matched into. So that's pretty much what match week is. But to add a little bit more detail, pretty much how it works for those of you that don't know, so medical school is 4 years of training, and then after that you have to do a residency training program where you're training as a doctor. You have your doctorate by that point, whether it's an MD or DO degree. And then after that, you have to do a residency training program. So in whatever specialty you choose to select or were accepted into. So for example, you could do family medicine or surgery or anesthesiology or pediatrics. You're going to choose one of them, and you're going to be going into that specialty, and you're going to be working in that specialty typically for your entire career. There are some exchanges in between the specialties, but for the most part, that's typically what happens. For example, there are some cases where you could interchange. So for example, let's say you did a family medicine specialty, a 3-year training, and you also did a 1-year emergency medicine fellowship. What you can do is you can work either in emergency medicine or in family medicine. Typically what happens is those doctors work in emergency medicine for a while, like 10, 15 years, and then they kind of fall back into doing family medicine, where it's a little bit more relaxed and it's a little bit more 9 to 5, less strenuous. So that's one example, but that's more rare. Majority of students doctors just pick one specialty, and that's what they're doing for the rest of their career. So one thing that you learn, after your first, second year of med school, from your upperclassmen, is that you actually have to apply for residency. So maybe some of you guys might have the impression that after medical school you just automatically start residency, but that's not the case. To apply it, there's a whole application process, but I don't really want to go into that. It's not super interesting, but long story short, it involves uploading your board scores, your transcripts, and then getting distracted by these skiers. Make sure I'm in a safe spot recording. But letters of recommendation from different professors, dean's letter, medical school letter, vaccinations, all that stuff. But anyways, after all that's uploaded to a central system called VSAS, then you pick which programs you want to apply to. So typically people pick just one specialty they're applying to. So for example, anesthesiology, so they might apply to like 30 different anesthesiology programs. Some students, what they'll do is they'll apply to one specialty, and if it's competitive like anesthesiology, then they might apply to a plan B, something that's less competitive. Oh man, it's quite difficult to ski and give a lecture at the same time. Let's just say hypothetically you're applying for anesthesiology. Typically how it works is you apply for about 30 different programs, and then weeks later they decide if they want to interview you. You go on these interviews. In this case, they were all virtual interviews via Zoom. Guys, it's getting pretty cold. All right, so let's get back to it. So let's say hypothetically hypothetically I applied to 30 different anesthesiology residency programs, and so of those 30, probably half are not gonna grant me an interview, and so let's say half of them do. So I'll have like 15 interviews, which is super ideal, by the way. But anyways, so from those 15 interviews, this case there were Zoom interviews. They were all virtual. Maybe next year some of them will be hybrid, some of them in person, I don't know. But just through the pandemic, everything was virtual. So the interviews could range from anywhere from like 15 minutes to an hour and a half. And you typically meet with the program director, a couple residents, and attending faculty. And they talk to you, you talk to them, they ask you questions. You go through your interview process, and you might be done with all of your interviews a month before you have to submit your rank list. So you submit your rank list typically a month before match day. So it was like about a month ago from now. So what's your rank list? Your rank list pretty much, let's say hypothetically, I interviewed at 10 different anesthesiology programs. So I rank number one the program that I most want to go to. Since Stanford is so popular, I'm just going to use Stanford as an example. If I got an interview at Stanford for anesthesiology and I wanted to go there as my first choice, I would rank that number one. And I then rank number two, whatever my second choice is, three, my third choice, all the way to number 10. So people rank number 1 through 10, or 1 through however number of interviews you get, for whatever number of reasons. It can be personal reasons, professional reasons. Like, for example, let's say hypothetically location is super important to you and you really want to stay in Northern California. So yeah, UCSF, Stanford, Kaiser programs that you want to go to, that would be number one for you. But let's say you wanted to do emergency medicine, and even though Stanford has a bigger name, but the residency training program in suburbia of Palo Alto area might not be the best place to train for emergency medicine. You might not see the best pathology. So you want to be the best. You want to see the most pathology you can, like gunshots or motor vehicle accidents or whatever that case may be. So you decide you want to go to Detroit. So depending on what your personal preference is will dictate what you rank number 1 through 10. And the residency programs also rank all the applicants. So the residency programs could hypothetically interview anywhere from like 20 to 120 applicants, and so they'll rank who they want to come to the program, number 1 through up to number 120, or however many students they interview and decide to rank, because not all the students that they interviewed they're going to rank. Rank means I want you to come to my program. The same thing goes for students. Some students interview at programs, but they decide that they don't want to rank them. So hypothetically, let's say you interviewed for 2 different specialties, one in anesthesiology and one in pediatrics, and you had like 15 anesthesiology interviews. So you would rank all 15, and you had 3 pediatric interviews. Some students may elect to not rank those pediatric programs because they are confident enough that they're going to match anesthesiology. So another thing to keep in mind is that the only way that you will match into a residency training program to become a licensed physician is if, let's say, you rank 10 programs and 10 programs rank you, and let's say your number 1 program, or let's say your number 4 program, there's 10 spots and they interviewed, 30 people. For those 10 spots, that program is going to rank all the applicants, the medical students, numbers 1 through 30. So for 10 spots, if they rank you number 11 at that site, you're not gonna match there. If they rank you number 10 and you rank it 10 or 9 or 8 or 1 or whatever, then you will match there. So it's definitely a risky business, and it's an unfortunate situation for a lot of medical students, especially those that have not gotten a lot of interviews. Some people maybe have gotten 0 interviews, and so they have to do this next step, which is called SOAP, and that stands for like a supplemental something offer. Anyways, essentially, let me explain that next. So what that is so I'm trying to explain a lot of things at once in one video. Probably a bad idea, but I'm winging it anyways. So this upcoming Monday, you're gonna get an email that says if you matched into a program, it's not going to tell you which program, or if you did not match, if you have to do what's called a SOAP. So I don't know the numbers, but let's just say hypothetically 5% of all medical students, 5 to 10%, did not match. So like 90 to 95% matched into some program. So of those 5%, they have to do what's called a SOAP. And so how that works is all the students that didn't match, and then in addition to that, all the programs that have openings for students that they did not fill their available slots. So for example, let's say there's a program in Louisiana that has 20 slots, but they only filled 18 slots for family medicine. Then they have 2 slots open, and so they're going to submit that information into the centralized SOAP website database, and they're going to handle that information. And so on Monday, if you did not match, what you're going to do is you're going to get a list of all the programs that are available, whether it be surgery or anesthesiology or transition year or preliminary or pediatrics or whatever it might be. You're going to have access to all those, to that list of programs that went unfilled, and you will be able to later that day apply to those unfilled programs. And then what happens is during that whole week, there's like 4 rounds of that. So like you apply, and you only have a limit of like 45 places that you can apply to. It's limited at that point. I'm not sure why, but but it's also free, by the way, which is good. So you applied to those programs. Let's say you wanted to match anesthesiology and you couldn't do it, but you know what, your second interest is pediatrics. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at all those programs that are open in pediatrics. There might be, I don't know, 30 programs or so that have, 1 or 2 slots available at their residency program. And so you're going to be submitting your applications to those, your pediatric applications to those residency programs. And so that's 30. And so you have 15 left. So maybe with those other 15, you're going to submit those to family medicine programs. So then that happens for like 4 days. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then by Thursday everything's done. So by Thursday, every single medical student should have matched into a program either that Monday, or they soaped into a program. So by Friday, everyone matches into a program. There are some rare instances where that doesn't happen, like you didn't match on Monday, but then also you didn't match via the SOAP offers. And so in that circumstance, a student could probably do a research year and strengthen their application, and then reapply the following year. All right, guys, it's super cold in Tahoe right now. Anyways, I made it back to the hotel. Don't judge me on this place. I only got it for $50 for the night, so I don't know why it was so low, but so it's way more than I needed for a 2-day ski trip. But anyways, so that's all the technical details and stuff like that. But I think the fun stuff comes now. So essentially, all of that stuff you were doing in medical school. I'm gonna sit next to the window so I can take down my mask. But yeah, so all that fun stuff, all that stuff you're doing in medical school, 4 to 5 years of just grueling, grinding, studying for exams after exams, and not seeing your mom, and not being able to go on a date, and delaying your marriage, and you can't go to Cancun on spring break, and all these different things that you kind of sacrificed. It all kind of comes together now. So all that stuff that you worked for, it's all built up into this one day, which is on Monday when you find out if you matched, and then on Friday you find out where you matched and what specialty you matched in. So it's pretty freaking exciting for a lot of medical students, and also really scary for a lot of students as well. As you can see, I'm a little bit more excited than I am scared, because I'm pretty sure, relatively confident that I'm gonna match. But hypothetically, if I don't match, I've gone through a lot in my life, so it's not the end of the world. I'll just have to soap, and then I'll soap into a specialty, to a program. Maybe it won't be extremely ideal, but at the end of the day, I'll still be a practicing physician, and that's why we all went to medical school. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. But but going to the more happy stuff. So on Friday, on match day, what happens is all across the country, at least starting well, not this year. This is the first year we're gonna have a match day or last year as well. But during the pandemic, there's not an official match day. So this year, for example, well, let me explain what happens in previous years. In previous years, all the medical schools will get notified where all their medical students got accepted into which residency programs, and they'll have a list, and they'll have envelopes, personalized envelopes with your name on it that says Michelangelo, and you're sitting down with your friends and family at like this gala event, and there's hors d'oeuvres, and there's drinks, and people are giving speeches, and you get to hang out with your dean, and you get to hang out with your professors. And at like 11 a.m. on Friday, everyone sits down, and then the dean goes on the microphone, and she's like, all right, you guys can all open up your letters, and everyone opens up the letters out all at the same time, and everyone finds out where they're going to be training for the next 3 to 6 years of their life. And it's super exciting for them, super exciting for their spouse, super exciting for their significant other, especially for the parents. Parents are crazy happy for them. They know how much their kids sacrificed. And especially the students, the new doctors, they are ecstatic. So that's what I'm looking forward to on Friday. Hope wish me luck, everybody. But but this year is gonna be a little bit different because the pandemic. So our school, I don't know how other schools are handling it, but our school is not going to do an in-person gala event. Instead, it's going to be like a virtual thing. But they had informed us that they sent us congratulation packages for the event. And so we're going to get those on Thursday or something. I don't know what's going to be in the package, but then, all of us are going to log in on Friday and join in on the virtual festivities, and, our family members will be there with us. And then Um, Pretty much, I guess, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I don't know if they're going to be like announced to us where we matched, or if we're going to just all open up our emails at the same time. I have no idea. But long story short, that's kind of the conclusion of my video, is that, you know, you go to med school and, you know, you don't just start residency after that. You got to apply for residency. Some match, some don't match. But at the end of the day, it's completely fine. And most people match. And those that, you know, don't match, there's ways around it, like with the SOAP. And some people just choose to pursue a different career. It might be like less than 1% of medical students choose to do that. Or I don't know what the numbers are. But long story short, I just kind of wanted to share with you guys what the rest of the medical students are kind of going through. Those of us that are in our 4th years of training, waiting for match day to happen, and we are excited, and we are in Lake Tahoe in a super nice hotel by himself because he's single AF, and we got the window opening because we got the circulating some clean air, and I'm gonna rest up, stretch out my quads, and hit the slopes again tomorrow. You guys have a great day. If you want more of this content, please subscribe and like. I'm trying to hit 1 million subscribers. I'm at 400 right now, so I only have like a little bit left to go. If you guys can help out, just click that like button. That would help me out. And comment down below or message me if you're interested in other future videos pertaining to medical school you would like me to elaborate on. I would be happy to do that, and I only come with 100% realness. I don't like to fake anything. Just 100% authenticity coming at you live and direct. You guys have a wonderful night. Talk to you soon. Peace.